We are glad you are back with us. Welcome to the What's Next Living Longer, Better, Smarter podcast. In this edition, new tech for a new year. This episode is made possible by VividPix.
So I've been in the photo business for 37 years, and I've seen a lot of things come go. But one thing has not changed, and that this wonderful thing we call a photograph captures a moment in time so that we're able to reminisce and relive those memories tomorrow. And it's important for us to do that so we can share them with loved ones and we can share them with future generations. So please don't let your memories fade. They're important.
Mary, with this year's CES having just wrapped up, there was lots of new tech unveiled, and we like to focus on health, fitness, and fun. And our guests in this episode have that covered.
Yes, that's what a lot of people are focused on at the start of the year.
And hopefully stay focused on during the rest of the year. Joining us from the Singing Machine is CEO Gary Atkinson. Hi, Gary.
Hi, Fred. Hi, Mary. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here.
Also with us from a company called Playin' Games is CEO Raghu Bathina. Hi, Raghu.
Hi, Fred. Hi, Mary. Happy to be here.
So we're so happy to have you both here on the podcast to talk about fun innovations. Who wants more fun in January? I certainly do.
Could use it on the West Coast, right? So Gary, the Singing Machine Company, has been a leader for years in home karaoke, and I love it. Tell us a bit more about the background of the company.
Sure. Well, nothing screams more fun than a karaoke machine, Fred. And so we at Singing Machine, we're the worldwide leader in home karaoke products. We've been in business now for over 40 years, delivering fun and music entertainment to homes all across the world. And actually, just a quick story on kind of how the company started. Our founder, a gentleman by the name of Eddie Steele, he was born and raised in California. And in his early life, he had enlisted in the military and he was traveling all over the world. And he ended up in Japan in the late 70s, early 80s. And he was working at a toy factory and he saw this sort of massive trend of karaoke that was going on in Japan and hadn't seen it actually happening in the US. It really hadn't sort of crossed over. So he believed so strongly in the product and the concept that he quit his job and literally moved to California and started importing karaoke machines from Japan and selling them out of the trunk of his car. And that's literally how the company got started back in 1982.
And like many people I know, you're a reformed lawyer that's now an entrepreneur, correct?
That's right. That's right. Having way more fun now selling karaoke machines than I would have been had I stayed the course and become an attorney.
So it seems to me that karaoke can be a great way for friends and family to come together and have fun. Is that what you see?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's to me, that's the beauty of karaoke is it's singing, it's music. It's really universal. It crosses all sort of age ranges, demographics, cultures, nationalities. I mean, everybody with a voice can sing. And it also, it's one of those things today, especially you see a lot where everybody's on their phone. They're constantly connected to screens and devices. And I always see when a karaoke machine comes out in a home party, everybody drops their phones. Everybody's out having fun. It's a bonding, emotional sort of connective experience with people. And that's why we love it.
And it does bring generations together. I can tell you firsthand, it's great fun with your kids or grandkids, whoever. Everybody likes to sing, as you said. But, you know, it seems to me that beyond that, it's just a magnet pulling people together. And whether it's at a party or any kind of gathering, a birthday or whatever, if you break out a karaoke machine, everything changes like instantly.
No, totally. I've seen it firsthand many times.
We have had Dr. Michael Roizen with us, author of The Great Age Reboot and the Reboot Your Age app. And he is a big advocate of social activities physical activities too. We'll be getting to that in a minute. Music and singing to reduce stress and add years, literally years, to your life. And best-selling author and BBC host Dr. Michael Mosley has a book out that's called Just One Thing: How Simple Changes Can Transform Your Life. Let me read here some of what he writes directly from the book. I would recommend you take up singing in the bathroom or anywhere else because research shows it is a great way to boost mood, reduce anxiety, and even relieve chronic pain. Also, and most importantly, it is fun. He even goes into some of the science behind that. So, Gary, you are in fact a health tech company.
It's funny you say that. We've always known that. We've always sort of felt that to be true. I until you mentioned it just now, I didn't actually know that there was real science and real research behind it. So I would love to learn more, and especially in how we can maybe educate the general consumer to make them aware of some of the health benefits of doing karaoke and singing in general. And that's actually coincidentally, you mentioned that. I was just talking to my mom recently, and she just joined a choir at her church, her local church. So she started singing now, and she's mentioned to me that she's starting to feel great. She's been feeling better. So maybe there's a link between the two.
You know, we just had an event here in San Francisco on Sunday, and we brought a band. One of the CEOs of one of the companies we work with had the title CEO on one side and band leader on the other. And people just loved the music. So I think there is something to the stress reduction and the joy. And then they told me 2 other groups tried to hire the band the next night and the night after. So I love this concept. And you just had a big announcement at CES.
Yeah, we did. Thanks for mentioning that, Mary. We just got back from CES back on this Monday, and first of all, it's great to see the CES show back to its sort of pre-pandemic glory. I know they just announced the attendees. We're now over 115,000 attendees for the show, and you could really feel the energy and the excitement that was back again, and so that was great to see. And we were there. We were announcing this brand new, it's the world's first in-car karaoke experience that we had just announced and launched. And what we're doing is we're working with and trying to partner with major automotive brands to essentially integrate some of our karaoke microphones and music technology into the car. And we've been seeing and hearing that as cars become more autonomous and self-driving in the future, there's a lot of demand for in-car entertainment options. I know people are going to be looking for ways to work creatively from the car as they're self-driving. And so we saw just a huge response for this initiative, particularly among the automotive brands that we met with. So yeah, we're really excited about it. We're looking forward to start announcing hopefully some partnerships this year. And bringing the fun and joy of singing to millions of cars on the road.
And until we get to self-driving, this is passengers only, right?
Right. So this product is designed for the passenger use. It will have the lyrics built into the on-screen infotainment screen in the car, but that's only while the car's in park. So when the car's actually in drive, there'll be a QR code displayed on the screen where the passenger can scan the QR code and they'll get the lyrics seamlessly sent to their mobile device. So they'll be able to sing along with the song in the car.
Terrific. Well, talking about health tech, Raghu, you are taking the pickleball craze, and it is a craze that is everywhere, and bringing it into the home, into the family room, the living room, wherever you have some space, through virtual reality. Tell us about this.
Yes. So you're right. Pickleball is quite the craze, and we basically have a VR app that runs on the Meta Quest 2 VR platform, which is the most popular VR platform, and it allows you to play multiplayer pickleball from home. So you put on the headset, and then you immerse yourself into amazing environments, and you can play single player, or you can play with other people around the country, literally around the world, and be in touch with your game, your favorite game. Even while you're at home, you can practice and play pickleball.
I just saw a story that senior communities are being redesigned with pickleball courts, and I think it's the fastest growing sport in America for people over 50. Tell us why you decided to do this. You've been in health tech before.
Yes. So we've been in health tech. We've done various things from initially telehealth, but also using immersive technology like VR for physician training, patient education. This seemed like a very natural extension. We wanted to get into something where we can basically create activity, get the gamer off the couch, and also give a way for people to stay active. Even if it's too cold outside, you can put on a VR headset, and VR is amazing. Everybody knows it's almost like a hallucinogen in terms of its effect on people and getting people to do things without realizing that they're exerting energy. It's quite addictive. Yeah.
I think part of the popularity is the social aspect, maybe a big part of it, as it's a big part, obviously, of karaoke, that people are doing this together and they're, seeing their friends, and now they can see and play with their friends online with this too. So I've given this a try on the MetaQuest 2.
Great. Yeah.
It feels so real. Can it really help with fitness?
Well, I think I'd say it definitely helps with hand-eye coordination. It helps with activity. And I've had people play it, and by the time they take off the headset, they're sweating. So I think definitely there is fitness happening. I wouldn't say it's as much as being on a real court, because here, obviously, you're not running. We don't want people running into things. So we will auto move you to the location as you would have experienced, Fred. But still, you're swinging and you're bending down on your knees, and you're doing all the actions. So it's definitely better than sitting on a couch watching a TV show or even playing a console game with a controller. And I think it can improve with hand-eye coordination. Yeah.
And here we are in winter and pouring rain in California for our 10th day. You can play in any weather, right? And
yes.
You also can learn how to if you want to learn how to play pickleball, it's a great way to start.
Yes. I mean, we've had people who told us, "Hey, I got a pickleball set for Christmas, but I can't play right now. The weather doesn't allow me to play, but I'm going to learn to play it in VR." And it's really, you can buy it before you can learn how to play it even before you buy your first paddle, because we kind of walk you through a tutorial of how to play the game, what are the rules of the game. And pickleball, it's not very hard to learn, but there are some nuances in how the scoring is done. All of that you can get familiar at home, so you don't have to feel intimidated when you go to your local club or the local court for the first time. You kind of already know.
You gave me an idea, which is to let the senior housing developers who are building these courts know about the virtual, because that would be great for people, as a lot of people are beginning to learn, right?
Yes. It's interesting you mentioned that, because we actually had a player come on who was actually, he lives in the north and he's in Florida right now at a retirement community, and he's playing our virtual pickleball game there. You're right. It is something we should let more people know about. Yeah.
We had last year, Mary, we had Rick Barry on with us, the Basketball Hall of Famer, who is now a pickleball champion for his age group. He's very intimidating on a pickleball court, from what I understand.
I can imagine.
So really terrific, great fun. And there is more info at playinpickleball.com. Raghu, you have more sports coming? This is just the start for playing games?
Yes. This is just a start. We do have more games coming. I can't tell you exactly which one is next, but we're going to have some more games within pickleball also. We're going to have some mini games in pickleball. For example, one of the fun things in pickleball is everybody's up to the net. It's called the kitchen, the area that's closest to the net. And a common stroke is called a dink. A dink is where you hit the ball, it just clears the net and falls on the other side. So dinking is a big deal in pickleball. So we're going to have a mini game where you just practice dinks and go back and forth. So we'll be with pickleball for a while, yeah, but I think you can expect another game from us maybe in about a year's time.
Have to learn to dink, I think.
You have to learn to dink. Dinking is a big deal. Yeah.
So, and maybe you can sing while you're playing too. Who knows?
I think that'd be great. I think that'd be great.
Yeah.
You know, just a quick note on the social aspect of it. And this is something I don't know for sure, but not only the pace of the game makes it more social. It's not rapid fast like table tennis, nor is it strenuous like tennis. But I think the other interesting thing is most of the game is played near the net in this non-volley zone or the kitchen, which means you're actually very close to your people on the other side. And it's typically doubles. So there's 4 of you that are like 10 to 15 feet apart from each other. And it's a very slow, dinking is very slow pace. So you actually get to see people and you can actually have a conversation while you're, if it's not a serious game, you're actually conversing. We see this translating into VR when we have people playing. People are like laughing, joking, they're having a great time. And I think that's kind of why pickleball is picking up in general, because there's such a social amazement to it. So
that's terrific. And the website for more is Playin Pickleball. There's no G on Playin. Playin, Playin, pickleball.com. Gary, you have a variety of ways that people can bring karaoke into their homes. Tell us a bit more.
We do. We have over 20 different types of karaoke products for the home, ranging anywhere in price point from $40 on an entry-level machine all the way up to $300 on a more semi-professional machine. We have portable karaoke products. We also have in-car products. We have the official carpool karaoke microphone that we launched with James Corden and the Late Late Show. That's also fun for the car. And then we have this new announcement that we made at CES for a true integrated in-car karaoke experience. So we have plenty of ways to help people enjoy the love of singing and the health benefits of karaoke and singing as well.
And what a great idea, Mary. We were talking before to bring one of these into a senior living facility, and Gary said they're even in hospitals, right?
That's right. I've seen them in hospitals. I've seen sort of local meetup communities where people will get together at a coffee shop and bring a karaoke machine and get together and sing. I've seen a lot of interesting uses for our machines and products. So that's what I love. I love to see people having fun with our product.
So this was a really fun podcast for us, and I love what you're doing. It reminds me of Aegis Innovation and the work that they're doing to make a difference in people's lives. But let's add play to our agenda this year, and both music and pickleball and learning. So this was great. Congratulations to both of you.
And there's more info at singingmachine.com. Mary, we mentioned CES and just want to show a couple of snippets from some interviews I did for my Techstination report. The first is with Dr. Keith Thompson, Chief Medical Officer at a company called Neurologics, using selfies for health monitoring, like blood pressure and more.
Red, blue, green light comes into the face. Our face is translucent. What's happening in the arteries beneath the skin, we can see that pulse wave with the amount of variance in reflected light back. Once we capture that pulse wave, now we're into the sweet spot, because there's all sorts of feature analysis that can be done. You can look at the shape of the wave. You can look at the velocity of ascent and descent. You can capture the beat-to-beat variability, what many will know as heart rate variability. We do all sorts of calculations, pixelated images of the blood flow. So we're not doing the PPG in just one spot like the finger. We're doing multiple regions in the face, 23, 24 different regions that are being analyzed. How do we know this technology is valid? Is in the early studies, and we published in the American Heart Association, we were able to take our model and prove that it could measure blood pressure to an accuracy of 95%, which means that comparing the blood pressure measurements of the face to the ground truth of auscultation at the brachial arm, we were able to prove a mean average difference less than 5 millimeters, standard deviation less than 8 millimeters. And that allowed us to declare that accuracy of blood pressure measurement. But the other cool part about this is not just blood pressure and heart rate in the vitals. We can start to now see the data patterns to capture things such as other cardiovascular risk, for example, cholesterol levels, hemoglobin A1C, fasting blood sugar. That's our latest platform and application that we announced as classifier models. And so that means, for example, with hemoglobin A1C, 5.7% is a significant milestone. Are you above or below? Yes or no? And to what degree of probability? Do the toy scan, look at that pattern, compare it to the models that we've trained, and we can determine the probability that that person is above 5.7, which is significant because then they're drifting into diabetic state, or they're fasting sugar, for example, above 5.5, which is also significant. So we can use that as a screening tool. And all really what we're doing with this technology is right now, we're not trying to replace medical devices. Certainly the blood pressure being our crown jewel and more accurate, we're looking to hopefully validate this as a class 2 medical device, and we're in discussions and working with FDA through that process. But everything else really will be screening tools that's going to change how we're able to interact with our patients for sure.
Another company making a splash at CES was the Paris-based health tech company Withings. We've had them with us on the podcast previously. Product manager Julius de Borin told me about the U-Scan, a home urine health lab.
What we want with this product is really to unlock the potential of urinalysis. And we are really excited to introduce that product. So I'm glad to show you how it looks like. It's really like a pebble-shaped device. It's a world first, I would say, device so small, but is intended to be placed directly within your toilet bowl. It's composed of one reader that is really designed to allow effortless testing. So we choose in purpose to install the device within a toilet bowl. It's an hostile environment, but the goal and the premise is that once you have installed it in your toilet, you can forget about it and just be normally. And we will, like the device will do the rest, and a pretty sophisticated sequence, I would say, to analyze the urine and to send you immediately the result within your HealthMate app, which is our ecosystem, which is our app for the ecosystem of our devices.
Yes, and I just came from JP Morgan Healthcare and heard Apollo Ventures talking about the future trends. And one of the trends is, technology-enabled services that do monitoring like urine. So exciting. There's so much innovation out there. A great year ahead, right, Fred? A lot to look forward to.
And we'll be bringing much more to all of our listeners and viewers in the weeks and months to come. Another quick thank you to our guests, Gary Atkinson from The Singing Machine and Raghu Bathina from Play and Games. We want to thank VividPix for helping to make this episode possible. And of course, we appreciate all of you listening or watching.
So happy New Year, one and all, and stay healthy and have fun.